Hi, it's Bobby with Office Tracker. Today we're going to go over setting up your web client preferences. The administrator of your Office Tracker system has the ability to alter the web client preferences for their users directly from the server admin page. Once you have logged into your server admin page, you will click on Web Access, Web Client, and Preferences. From there, your administrator can choose to make the changes across the board by selecting Everyone from the drop-down menu. They can set the preferences by a specific group, or they can set the preferences different for each individual user by clicking on this arrow and selecting that specific user. Once you have made your selection from the drop-down menu, you can then choose the different default options that you would like to set. The default schedule settings are the defaults that will come up whenever your users first log into the web client. The default view is the view that you want it to automatically come up to. It can be set to day, month, planner, or weekly. You can select the names shown that you want to show up on that specific user's web client, or if you have it set to everybody, it would make these changes across the board. You would select the names that you want to include over here and click Add if you wanted to add them over and say OK. You can choose how often that the web client gets an update from the server. You can set this to 30 seconds if you would like. Over here you've got the option to keep the date current, which will move the date on your web client to the current date at midnight. So if you want to click that. Hide the toolbar from display. This one can be very useful for people who want to use a large projection type screen such as a hospital or a room schedule board. If you check the Keep the Date Current and hide the toolbar from display, the schedules will automatically update and switch to the next day automatically. Hiding the toolbar keeps the screen display as large as possible. Here is an example of what it would look like without the toolbar. You'll notice that the icons up here on the screen are missing that say new event, names, etc., etc. It allows you to see more information on the schedule at one time on the screen. Okay, so now you have the view options. You can set the options for the specific views. So you've got, once again got daily, weekly, monthly, and planner. You can set them all up differently if you choose. Minimum column size, 250 pixels is the default, 50 is the minimum. You may want to adjust this if you're trying to view a large number of schedules on your screen at one time. If you make the columns a little more narrow, you'll be able to fit more on your screen at one time. You've got the start time and the end time that you want to show up on your schedule. You've also got the increments. Do you want it to be time slots of 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour increments, whatever you would like. You can edit the event font and the size, and you can choose to break the words on event text wrap. Under event information, you can select the items that you would like to display on your schedule. Just simply click the checkbox if you want to uncheck or check that item. If you want to reorder them, say I wanted end time to show above start time, click on the one that you want to move and use the toggle arrows to move them up or down. You'll notice a few more options over here on the right that if you want to choose to display them, you simply check the box. So you can choose to have your small icons appear if you would like, the total number of names, the type of person, the total contacts included in the event icon, AM and PM if you want that to show, and the agenda. You also have the linked contact display order. If you click on that, it gives you all of the contact information, and you're able to once again choose what information you want for that contact to display on the event. And the toggle buttons work the same as they did on the other screen. Click on the Defaults tab next. In here, you're able to set some defaults for events. You can set the automatic duration when you're using the new event button. Do you want your events to automatically be set at 30 minutes or an hour or 15 minutes? You can of course edit each individual event as you're creating them, but this is just for the default. The no label color. This is the default color that is set in Office Tracker. If you do not assign a label with a color to it, you can change that if you would like by clicking on the color. We can change it to that color. Say OK. If you wanted your events to default to have a certain label, you could select that from here. Say you wanted most of your events to default to being an appointment. You could select that, and it would, whenever you create a new event using the new event button, it would automatically assign that label of appointment to it. Click on reoccurring next. From here you can set the default reoccurring preferences. You could indicate how far into the future events should reoccur by default. The defaults are set at daily 1 year, weekly 1 year, monthly 1 year, and yearly for 5 years. You can edit these to what works best for your use. Notifications. From here you can create notifications when group events are created, edited, and deleted. So if you check that box, every event for the person that you have selected up here, or everyone if you have that selected, will automatically create a notification whenever you create an event, edit an event, or delete an event. It will pop up on your screen and ask you if you want to send or if you want to cancel, but it will automatically create the notification. You can also set the default of how you want the notifications to be sent, via email, internally, or with an iCal attachment. You can set the selected email template. So this is the template that's currently being used whenever I add an appointment. You can use the default if you would like, or you can create your own templates over here under email notifications, templates. Same thing for the edit and for the delete. Reminders, you're able to set the default for your reminder. How far in advance do you want the default to be for your reminders? Do you want them to go out 30 minutes prior to the event, a day before the event? You can set that here, and once again you can change that for each individual event if you wanted to do something different for a specific event. If you check the auto create, it will automatically create a reminder for every event that you schedule. Once again, you can select how you send your reminders. Your reminders can be sent internally where they pop up on the screen, with an email, or with an email with an iCal attachment. And you can once again select the email template that you would like to use. So it's currently set to default on this one, but I have also created a reminder that's called an appointment reminder. I could select that from here and say save. You'll notice it says the user preferences have been updated. Users must log out and log back in to see the changes. Most of these changes can also be made directly from the web client, so your users can set these up for themselves. Currently, the only information that they cannot set directly from the web client is this information in here. If your users want to set the web client preferences up themselves from within the web client, they can do so by going to the view and default options. These are located right here underneath. It's either going to say day, week, month, or planner. It depends on the current view that you have open. And then view and default options. You will notice this looks very similar to the information we just went over. You've got the view information and you've also got the default information. That about covers it for today. Make sure to follow us on Facebook for more handy tips and tricks. Happy scheduling!